Hello, friends. Welcome to today's show. I'm Dr. Helen, founder and chief engagement officer, that would be CEO of Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, and your host for Dr. Helen Speaks, Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. It's good to be here with you. It's always good to be here with you, and I look forward to our time together. You bring joy to my day. You add to my well-being. And it's my hope that we're adding something good, positive, and productive to yours as well. As a lifelong learner, which I've been for as long as I can remember, it's exciting to learn and share new, interesting, and sometimes reconsidered insights, perspectives, and learnings about life, leaders, and leadership. Yeah. As leaders, we're continually evolving, especially if we're lifelong leaders, lifelong learners. We're continually evolving. And as a leader, you're often open to new and useful information or learning to add to your knowledge base. I know it's something I'm always looking at when I filter in new information. It's how does it sit with what I already have captured or am comfortable with or have been looking for something to shift. So it all helps. One of the most significant lessons I've learned along this leadership journey is that the most effective leaders are lifelong learners. What do I mean by that? It matters. It makes a difference. And it also matters who you're learning from. Yes, today that's really important when you think about how much information overload we encounter on a daily basis. It matters who you're learning from. Your investment in you, your personal investment in you, develops you to be a better, stronger, and more influential, impactful, and relevant leader. The world needs more leaders like you in the world today. Really. Something I don't take lightly, which is why I keep tooling up and fueling up to be here with you. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? I ask this powerful question every week. So if you get tired of hearing it, don't worry. It's just quick, but I have to say it. I use it for my own life. When I wake up, when I end a day, what did I learn new? Did I get to really be at my best in what I love doing? Because when you love what you do, it's really not work. It's pouring into filling your own cup with what brings you, bringing your best gifts to the world. I ask it because it's a repetitive practice for good. Make a difference and add value to your life and your leadership. It's a way to stimulate your mind, conscious and subconscious, to pause and pay attention for a moment and focus on what that means to you right now. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? A little nudge by asking that question can bring it back to the forefront of your mind, of your plans and actions, and move you closer. Yep, that's right. Move you closer to your goals. Sometimes we all need a nudge, a push to get back on track with what we really want for our lives, the leadership, the legacy that we're building. Like anything else, it can get sidetracked, parked in the wrong lane, and need to get back on course. So the more you commit time for regular reflection, to really think about this one question every day, a shift will occur, and it will occur sooner when you give that time and attention to it. A shift to bring you back into alignment, or to put you in a better position to chart the course of your dreams, desires, and goals. You are in charge of that, no one else. So give yourself permission to let go and be fully present in this brief moment of time that we're going to be together, to think deeper, to be more intentional, and to do something more or different to move closer to what you want. How will you take action with the value you pick up today? Let me know. Why? Because if it matters to you, it matters to me. And I'm here because I care about you as a leader. Why do I do what I do? To motivate and inspire you to engage deeper with yourself. Everything you want already lives within you, and it's waiting for you to pull it forward and focus on new, improved ways to live a more empowered life in service to others. That's transformative work with life-changing results. Now, before we jump in, make sure you've got something handy to capture your thoughts, questions, ideas, and aha moments. A notebook, journal, tablet, smartphone. Look, the back of an envelope will work just as well. Capture them so that you can easily refer back to them, ask questions, share reflections, expand your thinking, and continue to build your life, leadership, and legacy with intention. So today, if you remember from last week, we started part 1 with the well-being lifestyle. And if you missed it, go back and catch the replay. And we went through the first 3 elements of well-being. And the question of the day is, what does it take to live a well-being lifestyle? Honestly, when's the last time you intentionally asked yourself that question? What does it take to live a well-being lifestyle? And I'm going to say, if you asked yourself that question, did you stop long enough to give it serious thought? Yeah, that's where it really hits home. Last week, we talked about the first 3 elements of well-being: spiritual well-being, career well-being, and social well-being. Today, we're going to discuss the remaining 3: physical well-being, emotional well-being, and financial well-being. They all factor into having a balanced well-being lifestyle. Managing a well-being lifestyle is achieved best when we lean into complementary skills or practices that you have in your life going on that you can wrap around the 6 elements of well-being, like resilience, intention, agility. That's a biggie for today. The reality of our existence today is steeped in VUCA. I know we talked about this some time ago. I don't know when we did, but it's time to talk about it again because we can't get around it. VUCA is the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And these things are intertwined and wreaking havoc on reality today. From radical weather shifts to economic instability, to mass shootings in local communities, we can't predict where the next oddball curve will come from, but we can put plans and practices in place to circumvent the impact of casualties and crises before they get out of your control and get beyond your control. The rapid and unpredictable changes you face on a daily basis call for swift shifts from the status quo, or in other words, kicking in your agile leadership. I know we hear the word a lot these days, but let's look at what it means. An agile leader can navigate challenges of a VUCA reality and continue to inspire your team, your clients, your stakeholders, your community, and drive positive outcomes. When you practice a holistic and comprehensive approach to your well-being, because you really sit at the apex of your well-being. It's like the message you hear before every flight. And if you've never been on a plane, I'll tell you what they tell you. The flight attendant comes up and they're telling you all the emergency measures to be aware of. But here's the most poignant thing they tell you. If those face masks drop from above your head, put your mask on first before you attempt to help anybody else. It's a simple truth of self-preservation. It's what puts you in position to do for others. If you don't take care of yourself, how well are you prepared to help anybody else around you? I love these words of Michelle Obama, who said, "To achieve true success, we must prioritize our well-being, nurture our relationships, and contribute to the greater good of society." If that doesn't wrap up what we're talking about in terms of well-being and why you want to embrace and do what you can do to ensure your well-being is intact, whether you're a leader, an aspiring leader, or follower of a leader, the development of your well-being will take you further along your pursuit of success and happiness and peace of mind and joy and fulfillment of all those things you want for your life. Each and every one of us can live better when we're actively attentive to our own well-being. The aha for me this past week around this whole notion of well-being was a living demonstration of what it means to practice intentional well-being and to be agile. I was in my zone, or so I thought I was, until out of nowhere, I was knocked down and needed to shift quickly to rebound to a different direction, to move forward. And I'll tell you, I thought I was treating a condition that after 3 days of it, it wasn't getting any better. It was pretty erratic. It was better than it was not better, better than not better. And I couldn't make reason out of it. So what did I do? I went to patient first. It was a lot quicker than making a doctor's appointment and waiting to when I could be squeezed in. And it was down the street. And I said, okay, let's go figure this thing out because it's interrupting my well-being. It was just that simple. I went and found out that, yes, I didn't have what I thought I had. So all that up and down was treating something that wasn't what was going on with me. So I love that we're on the back half of these elements of well-being and there's no particular order to them. I just decided this is how I wanted to present them. And oh my goodness, here's our first point of well-being that we're going to focus on today: physical well-being. Yes, because I had something that needed medication beyond the over-the-counter, beyond the holistic things I looked up for what I thought I had. I thought I had extreme indigestion. And what I was diagnosed with was pneumonia. Yeah, big difference, requiring a totally different regimen. And it really caused me to sit down, sit back, and get a grip on what was going on. Agility. Now, I was scheduled to leave town for a business meeting, and all of that got interrupted and turned around in a moment's notice with a diagnosis because I realized whatever was going on with me was interrupting my peace of mind, my ability to keep going forward, doing what I needed to do. How are you taking care of your body temple? Do you listen to it? Do you respond to what it's telling you, how it shows up? We don't always do it because we're caught up in some other element of our well-being. And I love this because not only did it impact my physical well-being, but it also impacted my spiritual well-being. Yeah, because in that moment of saying, I got to figure this thing out. What did I do? I went to my knees. I said, Lord, help me. Spiritual well-being, resilience, those other things that we have that help us to monitor and track. How are we tending to ourselves? Physical well-being is also about the benefits of regular exercise, healthy eating, and sufficient sleep are keys to physical well-being. So to unpack this a little more, let's talk about, is exercise a part of your daily routine? I know pre-COVID, I was on it. At least 3 or 4 times a week, I had a good solid workout and did other things to manage that. But daily exercise, even if it was no more than walking up and down the stairs, walking around the block, doing something. Medical science continues to support the positive impact of a 30-minute walk every day. You don't need any extra equipment. You can do it in your house. Now, you kind of want to time it and track what you're doing. And maybe you have a routine that, if I walk around the track at the school 4 times is a mile, and I can usually do that in 20 minutes. So, I can do it in 20, 25 minutes, however, whatever it takes. But to do that, you see, 30 minutes of walking every day increases cardiovascular fitness, strengthens bones, reduces excess body fat, boosts muscle power and endurance. And walking releases those endorphins, that part of your internal infrastructure that gives you that natural positive feel good for body and mind. Balanced nutrition. Oh, this is the biggie. Eating a balanced diet that includes fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, fuels your body like gas fuels your vehicle. It doesn't mean you can't or shouldn't eat treats and things that don't fall into that category of being super healthy. It makes you indulge in moderation. And if you're going to do more than that, step up your exercise to keep things in balance. You don't want to make desserts the staple of your diet. Vitamin supplements are helpful. I do my best to take them regularly. I put them in little containers marked by the day, and it helps me keep track of how attentive I am to them. However, they're not an alternative to a balanced nutrition with fresh foods. They're a supplement. And there are things in our environment that are interrupting that more and more. Sufficient sleep. I used to think that 4 to 6 hours sleep a night was great. I treated it like some badge of honor or stamina. Clearly, it wasn't focused on what produces an optimal state of well-being. Restful sleep in a conducive environment is something I've come to appreciate. If you want to increase your overall energy, consider spending 7 to 8 hours per night for sleep. It makes a difference. Now, that's physical well-being. Let's touch on emotional well-being. And I love how terminology today shifts the stigma of emotional well-being, because emotional well-being also brings into the reality of mental health well-being. Now, are you familiar with the term emotional intelligence? Think of emotional well-being as your ability to develop a self-awareness to manage your stress and emotions effectively, which is why I bring up the whole notion of mental health, literally and clinically. Sometimes when we're out of balance here, you may want to consider seeing a therapist, a professional, as a wellness check. Is it me, or am I just tired, fatigued, whatever? Other ways to self-manage emotional well-being are journaling. Regular writing or posting in a journal to express emotions, thoughts, and reflections is a wonderful way to promote emotional self-awareness. Now, I've journaled off and on since I was a teenager, just a little while ago. And sometimes, yes, it was just a little while ago. And sometimes I look back over through some of my older journals that I still have to see where I've grown, maybe relapsed, or have had no movement at all. Yes, there are a few things that haven't moved as much as I thought they should have moved. It's a great way to be in touch with yourself over time and to be able to track real progress of what you said you wanted and how you were moving towards it. And if you dropped it off and picked it up later, it's all good. And then there's mindfulness and meditation. Today, there are countless ways to engage in mindfulness practices to manage stress, increase focus, and cultivate a sense of calm in moments of chaos and confusion. Remember, we're in a VUCA reality. A little meditation before that big meeting where you know it's going to be contentious can allow you to show up calm, intact, and ready to address the challenge. Consider mindfulness movement like Tai Chi or Qigong to relieve stress while promoting overall well-being. And doing Tai Chi actually has some physical well-being elements to it to help you reduce stress, as well as Qigong. I know, it's Chinese. Not an excuse, just I'm not as up on my Chinese as I should be, but I'm close. Yes, and then there's your emotional support system. Now, this is part of building your resilience. Do you have a healthy network of friends, family, or colleagues you can confide in during challenging times? Think about that. It could also be a trained professional like a coach or therapist. Now, two different kinds of emotional support, and you could do them in combination together. One looks backward, the other looks forward. They both have value to your well-being, to your emotional well-being. Limit negative self-talk. What is that? Pay attention to the internal dialogue that you have with your inner critic. Pay attention and understand when your inner critic is on your plate to disrupt, destroy, get rid of whatever you may be challenged with. Challenge the negative thoughts. Focus on ways to foster a more positive mindset. Learn ways to tell your inner critic to shut up, to get out of your head, to leave you alone. They never go away forever, but the more you put positive things in, the more you're giving them the heave-ho to get out of your head. One of the ways to help you do that is by practicing gratitude. Spend intentional time reflecting on what you have to be grateful for, the big things and the small. You'll be amazed at how this can enhance and improve your overall emotional well-being. Yeah. Number 6, the last one, it's a biggie. Financial well-being. Stressing out a whole lot of folks these days. Managing your money is challenging for most people. And I've been there. It's not a place you want to hang out for a long time, for a long haul. If you find yourself in that place, do something about it. Number 1, do you have a written budget and financial plan to manage your money with? And I say written because oftentimes we treat it like, oh, I'm going to remember it in my head. You're not. Saving for the future, investing prudently, and avoiding unnecessary debt. Unnecessary debt. Some debt is necessary, like a mortgage, like a car note, like medical bills. However, there are ways to reduce that financial stress. Here are a few tips. Budgeting. Create a monthly budget. If you want to do the whole year, do it month by month, or do it a couple months at a time where you can really look at it. Sometimes seeing what you look like financially on paper is a real eye opener to what you're doing with the resources. Too often, I got a big promotion, or I changed jobs and they gave me a signing bonus. What do you do with that extra income? What do you do with that promotion? Now, I'm a trained and certified accountant, and I often say to people, hey, take that promotion, put it in your retirement account. You can keep living on the same paycheck, or maybe split half of it to go to your retirement account. Do something with it that's going to further your long-term goals. And when you have it on paper, you can review and adjust regularly to stay on track and manage stress in advance. An emergency fund, do you have one? If yes, woohoo! If no, what better time to start than now? We're mid-year, great time to start to see how you're going to finish the rest of the year. Unexpected expenses always show up, and they tend to show up when you least want them to. How prepared are you to address them and reduce financial stress in this VUCA reality we currently find ourselves? Lastly, financial literacy. Educate yourself. I'm going to tell you, things are changing rapidly by the minute. And so there are all sorts of ways you can do that. And when you're looking at financial literacy, you may want to focus in on debt management. As they're reversing some things, adding new things, see what's the latest trend. I love what Arianna Huffington says about financial well-being. The greatest wealth is not financial wealth, but rather the richness of relationships, the well-being of our minds and bodies, and the impact we have on others. As leaders, that's what we really want to have happen. How we impact the lives of others. That really becomes the legacy you leave behind. Summing this all, wrapping this all up, developing a multifaceted lifestyle focused on well-being through the 6 essential elements of well-being support and lead to a more balanced, fulfilling, and successful life. The most important thing to keep in mind is to focus on finding what works best for you. The end game really is about creating a sustainable lifetime in a VUCA reality. And if your goal is to live a calmer, more engaged, and successful life as a leader, these are ways to begin doing it today. Yes. Why wait until tomorrow if you can start it today? So here's my super shameless shout out of love to the team that fuels the steam of Dr. Helen Speaks. They show up to support me in serving you, and they're part of the team that works beside me to make this show possible each and every week. Our purpose is to bring you insightful and intriguing information to help you level up your leadership. What keeps you moving forward from here to what's next? Hopefully, Dr. Helen Speaks is a part of that formula that you put in play for your life. Join us live on Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m. Eastern time. Replays are available here and on our YouTube channel. Please go find us on YouTube as Dr. Helen Holton, where all of our shows are housed, as well as on the Win-Win Women Network. We look forward to seeing you next week and every week here on Dr. Helen Speaks, Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. If you find value from our show, don't keep it all to yourself. Share it with others. It's free, great information to take your leadership to the next level. We're here to go there with you to help you become the best leader you can be. So stick around. Join us for the afterwards, where we really go just a little bit deeper into our topic for today. Thank you.